once more, welcome to everybody, and it's in cooperation with IDT Lab. Sorry for the technical issues and problems in the beginning. My name is Gerhard Schwab, and I welcome you today for this special live webcast for the 3D geometrical search solution called ModelSearch. My colleague Daniel Hinger later on will show you live in a presentation what is really the value and why special designers and all of our customers and users love ModelSearch. We will, on the end of our presentation today, open up the lines, your microphones, so that we will live answer your questions. You have the opportunity to ask questions right now. You see it on the screen on the bottom right hand side. So that you also have some faces to our voices. So Daniel and that's me. What have we planned for today? You can see here some example of customers what we have, and almost KTM Sport Motorcycle or the Leap here are using company-wide ModelSearch. Why do they use it? First of all, because we have a long-term partnering with them. To one slide, who is TechSoft? And we are working since 1999 together with IDT Lab. So Andrea Bianchi, Claudio Bianchi, and Egidio Mazzorati. I think you all know them personally. And we have a lot of joint customers in Italy so far. So that's some facts, what you can see here. Okay, I have slowed down a little bit. Now you can see our main software add-on solutions to the PTC product portfolio. So we as TechSoft, we are Platinum partner of PTC, and we are product development partner of PTC since '93. And in the middle you see a solution called Creo Solid Power. That is something which is called also part library and which comes within the price book of PTC. So some of our solutions sold worldwide via all of the PTC direct sales organization and all the worldwide solution partners. So we are cooperating here with a lot of them. Today we will focus on ModelSearch for sure on the left-hand side. We also have, for your information, for the Creo Parametric side, a lot of add-on solutions. For example, the Creo engineering tools, where an administrator have the opportunity to really organize the whole Creo installation. So that means your license management, your different solutions, what you are using, if you like to borrow licenses, and for sure a whole part library catalog in there. You also can import your almost existing libraries. And last but not least, there are over 25 productivity efficient tools in there. For example, where automatically from a sheet metal part, the DXF or other informations are organized and stored within Windchill, or even if you have it file-based, it works as well. On the right-hand side, you see downstream solutions after the product development processes. For example, our iPrint solution. We have here companies like Dallara in Italy or Salvanini Group. What is the beauty of iPrint? By pushing one button, somebody who is not used to work on a daily business with Windchill, he can have all the drawings out of a very large assemble in one list, and then he can decide what he likes to do with all the information. So everything what is stored in Windchill, like the 3D model, like the drawing, if there are additional informations almost there, like IGES files, step files, or whatever is additional stored in Windchill, we can show that in iPrint, and then the iPrint user can decide if he like to print it out, or for example he like to zip it and send it for example to a delivery company which works together with you. So a very powerful application, works also close together with Windchill PDM Link. Last but not least, we have a very strong solution set in the manufacturing execution service area called MIS. And we have within the last solution there also connectors with the new IoT applications from PTC. So ThinkWork connectors and also Capware. If you have any opportunities for projects running in manufacturing automation, we also would be happy together with ITT Lab to support you and show you what we can do there for. So for example, some customers as well here, the Leasets group, Liebherr and others already mentioned. Today we'd like to focus on the challenges within the design and especially to reuse almost existing designs. So ModelSearch is a solution where we have customers where the return of invest is less than 6 months. That's nearby unbelievable, but the Bucher Leichtbau group, for example, in Switzerland, they are using ModelSearch since 2 years, and the top management gave us an signed document where it said in less than 7 months the whole ModelSearch implementation was almost returned. Why? Because now all the designers get automatically an information of almost existing parts in our Windchill database. It's also, from a use case perspective, almost very important, for example, if you have mergers or planning some acquisitions, because then mostly it's very, very hard to understand what design data are almost in the database. And as we all know, it's very hard to define on a verbal basic a so-called classification or just by a naming, but it's really a beauty to have this geometrical similarity search and what it's all about. You have read here the features. I want to come more on what's in there for you. So that means what is the value, what you get on a daily business out of the solution. And the key differentiator to all the solutions on the marketplace is that we have a full integral or a native Windchill version of ModelSearch, and as well that we can use native Creo parametric data. So when we decided in 2010 to bring such a solution on the market, we was very close discussing with PTC if PTC as the vendor of Windchill or Creo will have their own similarity search solution, and we got a written commitment that they will provide a solution in the marketplace directly. So we have a lot of customers together where we with PTC doing ModelSearch implementations right now. So it's fully integrated, and we have a completely cost reduction in reusing the parts and so on. So for you and also for your Windchill administration guys, the beauty on that is that you have to do nothing in preparing within your installation, and it doesn't matter how customized your Windchill implementation is, or as well Windchill. ModelSearch works out of the box with those installations, and we can secure that as well. If you are using ModelSearch, it will have no performance in issues within your system right now. We know that almost these questions come first, and so we were able to show that within a lot of customers right now in implementations. Sorry, the slide was too fast. So you can see here an excerpt of already existing customers. So in Italy, for example, we have Gessi. Hopefully I spelled it right. In Italy as a reference customer almost. We have IMA. We have additional 2 other ones, which almost ITT Lab were able also to get the purchase order where we will have the implementations in this and the next quarter. So why it is so useful and why companies are so successful, I think it's always the best to show the solution live, and so I'd like to hand it over to my colleague Daniel. I'm looking in the meantime if we have some questions in the queue, but it looks like that everything is okay so far. And thanks once more, and apologize for our technical troubles on the beginning, and it's very kind of you also that you accepted, and thanks for your feedback therefore. Okay, Daniel, so it's all yours. I think you have at least 30 to 40 minutes, and later on we will open it up for questions live, and feel free. If you have questions, write it down, or as well, write it down in front of you, and later on we will answer it live.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, I will, so we're good. Perfect.
Yeah,
okay, so you're seeing the screen. You can hear me. Perfect. So ModelSearch, I would like to show you ModelSearch in 2 different ways, I would say. First of all, from a perspective of an design engineer working with Creo Parametric, and the second perspective is somebody who uses just Windchill in the web browser, and maybe they are located in different departments, manufacturing or purchasing or stuff like this. And what's the value of ModelSearch in these 2 areas? Gerd, I try to give you or to cancel out the keyboard and mouse binding. Yeah, so now it's working. So
Sorry.
Perfect. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look in Creo Parametric, and what does the ModelSearch integration in Creo Parametric will look like. So I'm a designer now, and I have maybe this simple part in mind, and what a designer obviously will do is just begin from scratch and say, there are just a few features here, and I will do this from scratch. And yeah, I will create a new part, and maybe I can do some basic stuff here. For example, let's do an extrude feature, going into my sketch, doing some center rectangles, getting some dimensions on it, maybe let's see, 70 millimeters and 90 millimeters, and going out, doing the extrude by 70 millimeters, for example. And let's do a second feature here. Something is going on in the right-hand corner. For now, we will leave this. I will talk about it in a minute. Let's do a second extrusion here. And maybe we can just mirror it down to the other side, put in some new dimensions, maybe 20 millimeters here, and let's see, 50 millimeters here, and 70 millimeters in width, for example. Yeah, I'm happy with that, and maybe we extrude it to 70 in the upward direction. And as you can see in the right-hand corner, ModelSearch Live will proactively give me some suggestions of similar parts in my Windchill database. So I'm connected to Windchill, and ModelSearch will automatically look through the database and give me some advice of similar parts in my Windchill database. And that's fully automatically. I have to do nothing else but look in the right-hand corner. And in this case, I've got some similar parts in here. They are rated with some kind of percentage. So the geometry is is rated, and in this case this part is green, or the border is green, so it took my attention, and the two parts are almost 90% similar. And what I can do now from here is, of course, I can right click on this little preview icon, and I can just open the model or show some details in my Windchill database, or maybe I can compare the two models in my Creo. So what's happening here is we will load these two parts together, put them into an assembly, and try to do an overlay, okay, as you can see here, giving them some colors, and we are also doing some kind of Boolean operation to get the exact difference of the two parts. And now I have a good understanding what are the differences of the two parts, and of course I can do some measurements and investigate all of this. And as a designer, that's perfect for me. So I can easily see if the part will fit my needs, and if I can reuse it in an assembly, for example. And obviously that's the best case. Yeah? I can reuse the whole model. All of the drawing is basically done. We've got some manufacturing information, we've got some price information, and so on. So that's the best case. But what if I have to do some minor changes as well? Maybe the holes are misaligned or stuff like this. Well, that's okay too for me, because from a design perspective I can just copy the green part, give it a new number and name. I can copy it along with the drawing, do some parametric changes in there, and I really save a lot of time and money for the company to just reiterate the whole design, and I have not to deal with some surface finishing stuff on the drawing and some tolerancing and stuff like that. So I can just reuse maybe the whole part, or just copy it along with the drawing and save a lot of time as well. I can do this, of course, with another part as well. So maybe we can do a sheet metal part. I can do a simple extrude here, for example, and let's do just two lines here, just a simple part. Maybe we can do this 100 millimeter and I don't know, 30 millimeters here, and doing an extrusion. Okay, perfect. And let's see what ModelSearch will come up here, hopefully in a second. And as you can see, the first three hits here are close to my geometry as well. I can re-investigate them, doing an overlay, do some measurements, and maybe I can reuse an existing part here as well. How is this working? Why is this working? Let's see if we can pull up some simple example here. Where is my step file? So I've got here a step file. I've downloaded it from the internet. Maybe it's from a supplier, and this kind of motor or electric motor here. And I can just import it to my Creo and open it up. And as you can see in a second, there is only, there is only one input feature here. So it's not dependent on how I create this part. It's just a matter of what solid is in the part, and did not get an extrude or revolve or sweep or hole or chamfer feature. It just looks on the solid body. And as you can see in the right hand corner, ModelSearch will give me some suggestions on similar parts here as well. And of course I can reuse something that one of my colleagues already put together in the Windchill database, and reuse an existing model here as well. When you have a little bit deeper look on how this is working, we've got an automatically created footprint or geometric footprint. Nobody in your organization have to open the parts manually or just type in some parameters. So all of this is done automatically due to the Windchill visualization services. Maybe we can dig in here a little bit deeper later on. And what you can see, there are about 30, 40, 50 parameters, geometrical parameters or attributes from this part. So obviously the bounding box dimensions or the moments of inertia or the number of holes or threads and stuff like this. And all this is put into perspective to the other parts, and they are a good indicator on how similar a part is to another one. Good, perfect. So first of all, this was the integration in Creo Parametric, and I'd like to close down something here and get into my web browser. And this is my Windchill environment. You are familiar with this, and I'm on this detail page of this product. And let's say I'm in manufacturing and I have to manufacture this part. And of course I get some idea of how this part is look like, and maybe I've got in mind, well, some kind of part I have already manufactured in the past, but I don't know any of the name or numbering or stuff like this, so it's difficult for me to find this part that I already manufactured in the past. So what I can do here, of course, is look for similar parts in my Windchill environment as well. So I don't have to have a CAD system or Creo Parametric. I just have my Windchill web browser, and I can say look for similar models here as well. And when I hit this, I get a nice table here. I've got, of course, the preview of this part as well. So it's a native Windchill table, so I can reorder it. I can add some more attributes or showing less of them. And of course, this is all rendered natively in the Windchill environment. And what you can see here is we are having here this percentage rating as well, as you saw in the ModelSearch Live application. And the first line is the part which the search is based on, and the second line I've got a similar part, about 97-98%. And of course I will investigate the two parts, and maybe I can show them side by side in our gallery view. Maybe we can do this a little bit bigger here. And what you can see here is, of course, there is some boss extrude missing here, but that's the only difference between the two parts. Of course, you can load it in your Creo view and do the a diff check in Creo view as well. There is one available in Creo view MCut. But that's a nice way to compare the two parts side by side and get some more detail on it. And yeah, in this case, maybe I can reuse most of my NC programming, maybe on my fixtures and clamps for manufacturing of this part, and yeah, save a lot of time again. And obviously, that's a good thing. Let's dig in some other use cases as well in the Windchill environment. So for example, I've got here another picture. Where is it? This one. No, this one. So for example, you are looking for some kind of spare part. So maybe some of your technician is in the field on customer side and have to repair something and have to change this part, and you getting this picture here from his phone, and obviously they're not really good. And you have to guess what number it is and what exact machine they are running and so on. And I've got no further information but this picture and how to find this exact part in my Windchill environment. So that's the question. Maybe we can do some guessing here. Yeah? Maybe we can say how long is this part? Looks like there are 1, 2, 3 holes in there. Okay, and I've got a rough idea how to describe this part, and what we've implemented is a so-called parameter search or attribute search, and let's see if you can pull up this here. So what I've done here is I've got 2 attributes of this part, the maximum, medium and minimum dimensions, and I've given some values here. So I'm saying, okay, well, this part is about 250 to 350 millimeters long. It's about 20 to 40 millimeters in height and or width, I'm sorry for that, and about 5 to 10 millimeters in height. So of course I can look for parts that are in range of this dimensions. So when I hit the search button here, I've got an result, and currently in my Windchill database I've got 14 objects will fit these dimensions. Okay, and of course I can look through the result very easily because of this nice pop-up viewer here. But I will try to add one more criteria and one more attribute to nail it down, just a few of the parts. So maybe I can do another range criteria here, and I'm looking for maybe the number of holes. Okay, and for example in this case I'm not quite sure if I'm seeing all of them in the picture, so I say well, this part should have between 3 and 5 holes, for example. And when I hit the search button again, of course I get another search result. There are only 4 objects now in there, and well, that's very easy to get through this result. And let's see, this one is not the one. No, that's not quite right, but the last 2 look quite like the part on this picture and the photo. And of course I can just check the marks here, and maybe I can do a comparison side by side here as well. And when we have a look at the difference, it looks like that there are here 3 holes and here are 2 holes more. There are 5 holes in there, and so I can investigate the 2 parts. All of the information are kept in Windchill as well, so maybe I've got already an file number and have a look which part the customer will need. Okay, perfect. So so far so good, and we've got some additional stuff here in Windchill as well. So we have a look at the parameter search here, and we can also save this parameter searches. So I can do stuff like this. For example, I can save it for angle brackets, so some kind of mounting device, I would say. And I'm using some clever combination of some geometric attributes here. And what you can see here is, okay, it looks like a sheet metal part with 1 band, so it's an so my result is exactly what I'm looking for, some kind of angle brackets. Or for example, I'm looking for some clamps or fixtures. Let's see this saved search here as well. Let's search through, and as you can see, I've got all kinds of clamps in different sizes here. And I can reuse this attribute search to find my parts in the Windchill database as well. So when I'm not knowing any of some kind of search term, classical search term of number, name, and some description, I can use the parameter search to get some additional information as well. What I have to mention here in this parameter search, we are not only able to use the geometrical information, so like the bounding box dimension, so the length and the width and the height, but we are also able to combine it with some, I would say, classic attributes that you're adding to your models. So you're adding some kind of article number or description or material information or stuff like this. So we can do a combined search of this classic attributes we are already defined and the geometrical information we are gathering out of ModelSearch here. What you can do as well is look through your whole Windchill database. So we've got a duplicate search here as well. And when I hit the button, I've got immediately a result here. And when I open some of these groups, I can see I've got an exact geometrical identical part. So and all of this parts are, as I said, geometrical identical. And now I can maybe export it to an Excel and investigate the parts even further. And maybe I can do some changes to the life cycle state and set it to obsolete and say, dear designer, don't use this part again, please use another one. And to get rid of this whole duplicates in my Windchill database over time. And what's interesting about this duplicate search is the search is done in less time than it takes to render the table here. So the duplicate search is very fast. I have to emphasize this. So it's basically done in tenths of seconds here. Would not take very long to find all your duplicates in your Windchill database. It's a very nice thing. And one last thing I will show you here in my web browser. I would like to talk about assembly weight, or I would say I will talk about weighting in a general sense. So what I'm meaning by this is, let's have a look at, for example, this part here. So it's some kind of sheet metal part, two bends in here, and I would say the whole pattern is very significant. Yeah. And when I'm looking for a similar part of this, obviously I get similar parts here as well. So the first one is, as I said, the part on which the search is done, and I get some similar brackets here. Okay, so maybe there is a cutout in there or stuff like this. And what you can see is all of these parts are similar size as well. Okay, so in the first iteration, I would say we are focusing on the size of the part, and I get similar sized parts here. But what if I'm looking for not similar sized parts? I'm looking for specifically this whole pattern. So I'm interested in this whole pattern, and maybe there are some parts in there that are much longer, some profile in here, and this whole pattern will get patterned along the side, for example, and I'm looking specifically for this. So what I can do here, for example, is I can change the weighting. Okay, so when we have a look in this weighting here, as I said, first of all, I'm basically just using some bounding box dimensions and the moments of inertia to get a rough idea on how similar parts are together. And I can easily set a new weighting. And as you can see here, I'm using now more geometrical information on this. So the number of holes and the diameter of the holes are more significant for this search. And when I hit OK and redo the search, you can see obviously the first result hits are basically the same, but when I dig down, I've got some much longer parts that are that share the same hole pattern. So I can easily switch between weightings here and nail my my search result down to what I would like to search for, and I can do this easily as an user, so I have no configuration or stuff like this to do. I can easily switch it on the fly and we're good to go. And last but not least, I would like to step into Creo once more, because all of this we're seeing so far was based on parts here. But we can do an assembly search as well. So this is my example assembly, and obviously it will not make sense to look for a similar assembly like this, because there are hundreds or even thousands of parts in this assembly, and the result will not get any good, I would say. But what we find out is when we are focusing on rather small assemblies, like, I don't know, 20, 50, 100 parts, the search result will get very, very accurate. So in this case, I would say there is kind of a wheel assembly here, and maybe I can select the subassembly and activate it. And what I can do now is we've got this ModelSearch a tab here, and I can obviously can search on mouse click as well. And what I'm trying to do is to show this result in the internal web browser or in the workgroup manager. And what you can see here is the same ranking we saw before, and obviously I've got my little preview here, and I can step through this and look for similar assemblies here as well, and they're all looking like some wheel assembly or stuff like this, so they're all round and got the same dimensions and stuff like this. So it will work on assemblies as well, the whole ModelSearch thing. And last but not least, I will emphasize that you have not to do all the indexing and all your Windchill parts that that are already in your database. You don't have to manually open it and give them some information and how big is this part and stuff like this. So we are all doing this automatically via the Windchill visualization services. So when you got your worker, that the representation for your Creo view is doing, we using that thing, and automatically when we are publishing this Creo view thing, the geometrical footprint is gathered automatically, so you don't have to put them in manually. So they've got just a little work up front to get you up and running and using ModelSearch, hopefully. Okay. Gerhard, are you here?
Yes, for sure.
Perfect.
Very good. Thank you very much, Daniel, for the presentation. I now like to ask once more if the ITT gentlemen can hear us, and also we can hear them right now. Andrea, Egidio, are you here? Oh, it looks like that there is even a technical problem. Maybe they don't have any internet connection today, but don't worry. We will go ahead, and hopefully you have the opportunity to understand our Austrian English relatively good. I have seen we have in the meantime, we have got some questions. Okay. Maybe you can have also a look in the question area, Daniel. And in between, if you be so kind, and once more in your folder you find a presentation called ModelSearch, the new release and new features which will come soon for all of our customers. Okay. If you could be so kind and also show this presentation once more. Now we have to switch. It's another PowerPoint presentation. It's not in this one.
Another one.
Another one in the folder. Yeah, you will find here.
So it's in my directory, hopefully. ModelSearch highlights. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So then I would say you can read the questions, and I will show if you can give me.
Not sure which Gerhard Schwab you're hopefully
this one.
You are the Textsoft one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Because then I can subject it. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. So for all of you, all of our already existing customers, and as well for you if you would like to decide in using ModelSearch in the next months, we are working almost on the finalization of our newest release of ModelSearch called 5.5.01. So there comes a lot of additional features and functionalities in here. I give you a highlight out of these 35 new features and functionalities which we have brought in that stuff. And you can read it. You also will get all this presentation material to your hands. And Andrea, Egidio, and Claudio will be happy also to do a translation for you in Italian, so that you really understand exactly what is the benefit out of that. So we have got several requests from existing customers, almost as said, we'd like to have the additional functionality in ModelSearch, and so we collected that worldwide of all of our more than 200 ModelSearch customers. And within our product development department, we have 16 people which are working on our add-on solutions, and so we have it brought in our development plan in line, so that we are now really proud to show you these additional new functionalities. It will be a new functionality in generation, this so-called footprints, because for the first time of use of ModelSearch, it's necessary that, as you have seen in the presentation of Daniel, this so-called geometrical footprint, and this one-time information or footprint information have to be generated. That is something which runs in the background. For the initial installation, we can use here CAD workers which are working in parallel. So right now Windchill supports up to 8 parallel CAD workers. So we are using that process, and we can bring down the time in generating the footprints that you can use. For the existing customers, you can use the new functionality or ModelSearch in the new release without changing your geometrical footprint if you are fine with all the features and functionalities what you have so far. if you like to add these new features and functionalities for all of your users, then you also have to generate the footprints new, because within the new generated footprint information, then also these features and functionalities are available and you get all the benefit out of that. So what we are doing is for all of our existing customers, for sure you get all these new features and functionalities with a support contract. It's not an upgrade where you have spent additional money. Therefore, from a service perspective, we always do in combination with IDT Lab that we analyze your installation so far, and then you get a tailored quote for the upgrade and the use of these features and functionalities. For most of you who have seen first-time ModelSearch, the actual release is called 4.5.1.2. And it was a milestone because within the solution, we are now first time able to have a multi-cut support for ModelSearch. So not only for Creo Parametric with Windchill, also the systems what you can see here in this multi-cut area, we are using here the so-called Unite technology supported from PTC, which is delivered from Creo 3.0 M100 and higher. So that means the prerequisite is that you are at least on Creo 3.0, and best fit would be almost on Windchill 11, because then the systems and the matrix is supported. We have one customer which is also using that on Windchill 10.2, but it's not official from our product development team supported. It works, but always for sure we recommend to use a certified environment and to use all the stuff. It was very powerful and with a lot of new benefits for the customers, like the raw part, finished part search, what you have seen live, the new look and feel interface, the part comparison, also a very strong thing, because we got from several customers the information back. Okay, it's very nice to have right now automatical the information as a designer that I have similar parts which are 93, 94, 95, 96% equal. But what does it mean, this 1% in difference? What is it on a geometrical perspective? And so we said, okay, we bring that in and show it directly within the volume so that the designer can decide very fast on the actual and aggregate information, what of this part can he use, and maybe it's smart to use this one and not to create a new one. You have seen all that stuff. Also, this so-called extended or combined attribute search is something what we have now implemented also on several customer sites. The value, or let's say here the functionality, or the right word would be, what was the background in customers in asking that was, I'd like to have also the information for our design team. If they find a part which is almost similar 100% or close to, I'd like to have an information, is this part, for example, on store? Because if we are doing a prototype, we like to use parts which we have almost on store. Or an additional point was from another customer, they'd like to give the information back of the cost of the part, because they have the cost information in their ERP system, and also like to have, if I find similar parts or maybe duplicates almost, I'd like to use which one? Yeah, for sure, those parts who I can purchase on the best price value ratio, and go ahead, or almost I also find a preferred supplier information, because from this supplier we always get the best parts with the highest quality in time and so on. I think you all know what I'm talking about. So the multi-cut support, it's always in the newest release with a new advantages and features and functionalities compared, just an overview. The combined search also was a reason, and a beauty and what nobody would like to miss, because that is something, if you are using ModelSearch, because it's native Windchill, then also you have it in your standard Windchill environment as functionality. And those is something what Liebherr, for example, or as well the Müller-Martini group in Switzerland, or the Northern Machinery Group out of Sweden really loves in using that with the multi-gallery view. And also as conclude or full information, you see here the available versions or releases and which of the PTC solutions we are providing. So as you know, we are a full product line partner of PTC. That means that we are also the former co-grade product have in our portfolio, and ModelSearch works fully integrated as well with Creo Elements Direct Modeling and Model Manager. You have seen today Creo Parametric with Windchill. It works in a multi-cut environment with Windchill. We need to have at least one Creo license. So we have one large German customer, Hellermann Dayton. They have had before no Creo. They just have NX, CATIA V5, SolidWorks and Inventor Data, and they are using ModelSearch in this multi-cut environment in combination with Windchill PDM Link. And they also have now some Creo licenses for generation of the footprint and working for that. And also we have the situation that if some of the customers which are now moving from Model Manager to Windchill, so they can also use in ModelSearch the combination in having Creo Elements Direct Modeling as cut system and in combination with Windchill. Okay, I think that should be the main topic. And one last slide and gives you the summary of ModelSearch. So,
Gerard?
Yes, great. There is an Italian voice on the line. I'm happy.
Okay. So, asking for questions, okay?
Yes, very good. Yeah.
Qualcuno ha delle... Buongiorno a tutti, sono Andrea Bianchi. Qualcuno ha delle domande che vuole rivolgere magari in italiano e poi ottenere delle risposte?
So what we can offer right now, as you introduced, Andrea, is that we can open now the line of all the attendees to answer live questions.
Muted.
I do it right now. I press the button and I see that nothing happens. So Daniel, I think I need once more your support. Something with my device is broken today. When you do me a favor, Daniel, and you go on the Teilnehmer or on the attendees, I don't know if you use the German or the English. Okay, now it works. Very good. Great. Yeah, because you can hear the sound in the background. So once more, welcome. So you are welcome to ask questions. You can do it in Italian language because Andrea, Claudio, and Antonio will translate if they are not able to answer it by themselves. Feel free.
Mario, forse tu avevi una domanda?
Sì, ciao Andrea, ti sento malissimo. Sì, allora tutte le domande che avevo sono già state risposte durante la presentazione. Ecco, quello del stato del ciclo di vita, ho avuto la risposta quando ho visto la possibilità della combined search anche tramite l'ERP, quindi anche tramite ricerca parametrica. Dopo, se si poteva cercare, perché all'inizio c'erano solo le parti, faceva vedere solo le parti, avevo la domanda se cerca anche gli assiemi, e poi dopo ho visto che ha fatto vedere anche la ricerca sugli assiemi. Ho due domande, ma non così importanti, cioè del tipo: appesantisce di molto il peso, diciamo, in byte dell'oggetto.
Okay. No, l'oggetto non ha... Ok, the question... vabbè. The way the object become heavier, okay? Or if the process become slower due to the increased heavy let's say regeneration of the cathodes. Do you want to answer, Daniel, or should I?
Sorry, Andrea, but we couldn't hear it up front. So
Okay.
can you please repeat it? But if
Yes.
you can answer the question by yourself. If you feel free, don't worry. If we should help you, then we are fine also in answering. But then you have please to translate it first.
La ricerca, Dario, per quanto riguarda almeno ovviamente la parte CAD, quindi la parte utilizzata principalmente dai progettisti,
Sì?
avviene attraverso la generazione di un file di testo molto leggero che viene fatta, la generazione fatta dal sistema CAD, quindi dall'applicazione Toolkit, e salvata in una cartella dove il server Windchill poi va a recuperare, va a leggere questi file di testo e genera l'interrogazione che poi viene il cui risultato viene visualizzato in quel riquadro in basso a destra che avete visto durante la demo.
Ok.
Quindi diciamo che è un incremento ma leggerissimo nei tempi di rigenerazione, se proprio vogliamo diciamo dire tutto, dovuto alla generazione di questo file di testo, che però è appunto ha un peso minimo
Trascurabile.
trascurabile. Oltretutto questo file di testo chiaramente viene rigenerato, viene creato solamente nei tempi e nei modi che la configurazione locale di ogni singolo progettista indica. Cioè, quindi se per esempio il progettista indica che la ricerca deve essere fatta ogni 2 minuti, ecco, se tu durante quei 2 minuti rigeneri 10 volte il modello, non succede niente, l'applicazione non interviene solo dopo che è passato il tempo che tu hai dato come ritardo.
Sì, è possibile impostare la ricerca solo nel ciclo di vita esecutivo o anche quelli in modifica o altri stati di cicli di vita? Ecco, è dipendente proprio dallo stato o cerca comunque sia tutto ciò che è dentro nel common space?
Ricerca tutto, quello che c'è.
Diciamo che la ricerca avviene in funzione dei permessi che hanno i vari utenti, cioè se un utente non può visualizzare determinate cartelle, allora quell'utente non ha accesso a quei dati.
Ok.
Rimane, il progettista vede tutto, insomma, ecco, diciamo così.
Sì. No, va bene, ecco, poi dopo è interessante la possibilità di ricerca sia con l'aggiunta dei parametri, la ricerca combinata, ed è molto bello il confronto, che puoi fare il confronto tra le due cose, quello è utilissimo, ecco. Altre domande? No.
Ti ringrazio, Dario. Vediamo se... Grazie.
Ok,
Vediamo
grazie a te.
Ci sono altre domande? Luca? Pranio? Volevi
Claudio?
chiedere qualcosa?
Pronto?
Sì. Vediamo se...
Sì.
So Maybe Daniel, you can support us once more with open up the microphone from another attendee who'd like to answer a question. I think Luca Branio would like to answer. Yes, now it's
Sì,
possible.
eccomi.
Yeah. Very good. Now we can hear you.
Buongiorno a tutti e grazie per la presentazione. La domanda che volevo fare era se esisteva una versione trial per testare l'effettiva compatibilità con le nostre installazioni, e la seconda domanda invece se una volta effettuata l'installazione c'è bisogno di un processo che praticamente vada a leggere tutto quello che c'è nella libreria della Common Space, oppure se è già pronto all'utilizzo.
Grazie. The question is trial license first and bulk indexing the second. Now I answer the questions.
Yes.
If you want to add anything, okay. Per quanto riguarda la licenza di prova, sì, è possibile. Bisogna tenere conto però del fatto che diciamo, l'installazione richiede almeno giornata, diciamo una giornata di lavoro, e non è, diciamo, una semplice licenza. C'è la licenza, ma c'è anche un minimo di lavoro per attivare il software. La seconda domanda, allora, il software non richiede nessun tipo di manutenzione a regime, perché è il worker che genera l'indicizzazione, cioè questo footprint, durante il normale processo, flusso di lavoro di Windchill. All'inizio ovviamente però non esiste alcun footprint, e quindi c'è un processo che comunque è un processo unico che viene accodato sempre sul worker, e che è un'indicizzazione di massa massiva, quindi bulk indexing. E questo serve proprio a dare all'inizio a tutto il database una indicizzazione. Questo chiaramente nel caso in cui venga effettuata un'installazione di test, si decide di indicizzare solo un piccolo gruppo magari di oggetti. Dipende anche dalla quantità di oggetti presenti. Comunque tenendo presente che il processo di indicizzazione è assolutamente imparagonabilmente più veloce di un processo di pubblicazione, perché chiaramente stiamo parlando di generare dei metadati, cioè aprire un modello ed estrarre solo dei parametri geometrici, quindi non è la stampa di un PDF, l'esportazione di un DXF e così via, è un processo estremamente più rapido.
Bene, grazie, chiarissimo.
I think we had another question in the online tool of Dario Baiocchi. I can read it. The answer is, could it be possible to show the life cycle status in the shown similar parts? So I suggest or I think it's meant regarding the ModelSearch live and as well in the hit list. And I'd like to forward this question to...
Unmuted.
So the connection was a little bit bad. I think I should answer the question, Gerhard.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Regardless in which area you like to display this life cycle state, I would say the easiest way to answer this question is yes, it is possible. You can customize all of the. Let's see here. You can customize the Windchill table here, of course, and you can customize the attributes in the ModelSearch Live application as well. So yes, the simple answer is yes, we can customize it and we can show it.
And also the good news is that it's not programming stuff, it is just configuration. Therefore, this background software, what we are delivering here called iFactory, with all of the functionality. I think some of you know this as well, because it's the backbone for all of our PLM add-on solutions like iPrint, the IDNC application, as well ModelSearch, and so on. And due to the fact that we have really here an integral solution in Windchill, we can configure that what you'd like to have shown then in your list view or as well in your ModelSearch live view. Thank you, Daniel. When I look in the attendee list, I think there was another question from Veloce Diletti. Maybe, Daniel, you can open the microphone once more so that we can ask if the question is still valid or we have answered it.
I have the microphone.
Buongiorno, sentite?
Buongiorno.
Sì, ciao Luigi, buongiorno.
Oh, ciao. Okay, thank you anyway. I think it's a very interesting presentation. Just to be honest, we don't have this specific need in our normal activities, but I suppose there is a lot of work behind, because I can imagine that this kind of a search is quite complex. My question could be, how complex could be the geometry? Because you showed us, let me say, prismatic elements, because I suppose it's there are simple geometry, but how is the complex, the most complex geometry you can search?
Would you answer it? Should I?
I think Daniel, that is a question for the technical guy, because you get measured on the end of the day, but we can't and whatnot.
Well, so yeah, so the search is not dependent on how complex the geometry is, I would say. So if you got a part with, I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000 features and, I don't know, 4,000 surfaces and a lot of rounds and chamfers and holes, and well, all of this is basically irrelevant for the search. So we are looking at some attributes which is just the end product of all of the features combined. So if you got a very complex part, maybe some molding part or stuff like this, and you have actually a similar part in your Windchill database, we will find them. Okay.
Okay.
But the question is, okay, I've got two very complex parts. What does this mean when there is 1% of the footprint? So the difference is 1%, okay? And maybe it's just one little radii in a corner and the value is not 1 millimeter but 2 millimeters. Yeah? The difficulty is to find them. But the comparison itself, it's quick, so no problem there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
what I just can add is we have never ever right now any part of a customer where the geometrical footprint generation not automatically worked. What is the prerequisite is that you have a volume part. Yeah. So if you have a volume part and this volume part is also what is the right word therefore, a good part. So if you don't have issues popping up, if you like to open it in Creo, then we can generate the footprint, and also the similarity search works 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Do we have any other questions? What you can do is you have here a hand symbol if you'd like to ask anything, You just push the hand symbol, then we see that you have an request, and we open up your line so that we can answer it. It looks like that we have answered all the questions so far. I don't know, there is one question mark from Adriano Biolucci, but I think that was a kind feedback to our technical issues on the beginning. And sometimes, as you have seen, that this software, life is life, sometimes things happen. Really never ever happened before. Sorry once more for the delayed start, but we can finish in time, so we have another 2 minutes. Andrea and Egidio and Claudio, it's all yours. Thank you for having us today here for this presentation. Also thank you for my colleague Daniel in the presentation. Andrea and Egidio, you can close the webinar for today.
Ok, mi sentite? Sono Egidio e come sapete mi occupo di vendite qui in ITT Lab. Dovevamo fare una breve introduzione della società, ma penso che più o meno ci conoscete, sapete che forniamo servizi di formazione, di supporto alla progettazione e abbiamo delle partnership con dei partner che riteniamo molto importanti, quali Texo, che ci fornisce tecnologie e supporto che si integrano nell'ambiente PTC sia di Creo che di Windchill. Ci spiace che purtroppo io è da una vita che sono nel settore software e la legge di Murphy è sempre lì. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Però vedo che ne siamo usciti, a parte qualche disagio nel ritardo. Penso che la presentazione sia stata parecchio interessante perché riguarda una tecnologia che è uscita, è stata efficace dall'inizio, ma ha avuto molti miglioramenti grazie anche alle richieste e ai feedback dei clienti. Riteniamo che i nostri clienti, così come quelli di Texo, sono dei cosiddetti loyal customer, cioè abbiamo delle buone, diciamo degli ottimi rapporti per cui lo scambio di informazioni è veramente, diciamo, efficace. Alla fine di questa webinar ringraziamo chiaramente le persone di Texo che si sono prestate a darci supporto e il nostro rapporto si mantiene vivo. Ringraziamo anche voi che avete dedicato quest'oretta e confidiamo che sia stato interessante. Naturalmente vorremmo che questo fosse uno step del rapporto, cioè vi forniremo le informazioni, magari vi contatteremo per vedere se ci sono altre domande che sono emerse nel frattempo. Se sarete interessati, chi non lo ha ancora in casa, a valutare, diciamo, il software, ne parleremo volentieri e così vediamo un po' di mantenere questo rapporto. Per cui io con Andrea e Claudio, che sono qui con me, vi ringraziamo ancora per la vostra disponibilità e vi auguriamo una buona giornata. Grazie ancora.
Thank you very much, and also grazie mille for joining us today. Buon giornata and have a great day and a great time. Thanks all together.
Grazie mille, ciao.
Grazie mille, and we will close the webinar for today. Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye.